Good morning, sourdough lovers. Okay, it is day 3. Here is my starter. It is just starting to have some little bubbles. That is that rye flour at work. It's not strong enough yet to bake with because it's got to be doubled within 12 hours for it to be strong enough to bake with. So what we're going to do is, instead of feeding the whole batch, we're going to take out a good spoonful. Now it's stretchy, so it might be a little bit difficult to do, but don't worry. And we're gonna add 60 grams of water, so we're feeding it a little more now. 60 grams of water, and if you have to take it off with your finger, that's perfectly fine. And 60 grams of flour. Now why 60 grams? Because we want to have at least 100 grams of starter to bake our bread with. That means that if we start with 60 grams and are each feeding, we use them almost all the starter, and then we just refeed it those 60 grams when we're ready to bake with it next day. This way we're not wasting a bunch of flour, because you'll see a lot of discard recipes. That's because people are making too much for what they need. We're only making what we need. So this will make 1 loaf of bread. If you want to make 2 loaves of bread, you're going to feed it double, but the smaller amount of starter being fed a larger amount of feeder will make it grow faster, because this is a hungry bugger and it wants to eat constantly. So we're trying to get to a point where 12 hours is enough for it to double. Right now we're at 24 hours, so it'll start to speed up, it'll start to get bubbly faster, and that's what we're looking for. That's the strength of our starter. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in these 60 grams, I already pre-measured it, 60 grams of flour, and it has our big whopping teaspoon of our mixture from yesterday, and our 60 grams of water already in there. We're just gonna go ahead and put the rest of this flour in there. We're just gonna give it a quick mixy mix, and then leave it again until tomorrow. So you'll see it's not a lot of work. It just takes some consistency, just like anything else. And we're mixing, mixing, mixing. And then you might say, well, what do I do with the discard? Well, you can give it to a friend and give them a head start, or you can just discard it. Either way is perfectly fine, or you can start another one. Now, the reason I didn't feed it in the original jar is I like to have a marked line so I know where I'm starting with, so I know how quickly it's doubling. If you don't mark it, you don't really know. The easiest way to do that is to take a hairband or a rubber band and park it on the spot where you're starting with, or you can take a permanent marker, because it will still come off, and then just mark the line. So I'm right here. Right there is my starting line. Even though there's some extra up here, that's my starting line, because that's where the base of it is. And then I'll check and see how quickly that doubles. It'll rise up and fall back down. That's what we're looking for. And then eventually, I fed this starter 12 hours ago, or actually maybe even a little less, and you can see how nice and fluffy it is. It's more than doubled, so it's very active. So I always have a lot of different starters going. That's a white starter, I have an all rye starter, I have a whole wheat starter, because those give different complexities to your bread. So we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but we're day 3. Just scoop out a tablespoon, add 60 grams of water, 60 grams of flour, give it a mixy mix, cover it up, let it sit. All right, see you tomorrow, bye.